Welcome back to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City on a 53-degree afternoon as we get ready for the Packers and the Chiefs. Mike McCarthy's Packers have not lost a game since last December 19th, 1 year ago tomorrow. And there is the interim head coach. Took over on Monday for Todd Haley, Romeo Crennel, 4 seasons as head coach of the Cleveland Browns. The Packers at 13-0 with a win today. They will clinch home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. The Chiefs come in at 5-8, will be eliminated from playoff contention with a loss today.
Very inconsistent season for the Kansas City Chiefs this year. Been on some long losing streaks, some long winning streaks, and back on another long losing streak.
The Packers won the toss and deferred for the 7th time this season, so Mason Crosby gets things started. Javier Arenas will let the opening kickoff sail through the end zone. So the Kansas City Chiefs will start from their own 20-yard line. Tyler Palko started the last 4 games. Kyle Orton will make his first start with the Chiefs. He started 5 games for the Denver Broncos earlier this season, including 1 against Green Bay.
And I think we're going to see the footprint or the thumbprint of what Romeo Crennel has put on this offense as a defensive coach. His background as a defense is going to be a certain style to this. I think we're going to see a little bit different approach today than what we've seen with Todd Haley up until this point in the season.
Orton on first down, hands it off to Thomas Jones. And Jones takes it out to the 22-yard line for a gain of 2 on first down.
And I think that that's what we're going to see quite a bit today is the running game by the Kansas City Chiefs. You heard Tony talk about the clock. They need to shorten this game and limit the opportunities of that Packer offense on the field. Critical for this group right here to be able to control the line of scrimmage, run the ball effectively, throw play action off of that.
And keep Aaron Rodgers off the field.
Second down, this is LaRon McClain, the former Raven. And he is bottled up and initially by DJ Smith, the rookie out of Appalachian State, starting for the injured Desmond Bishop.
Well, the Green Bay Packer defense took a big step last week against the Oakland Raiders of limiting the big plays. That's been their Achilles heel this season. When you talk about the rankings of defenses, it's based on yards. So the big plays have really hurt this defense. They're ranked 31st. They counter that by taking the ball away from the offense.
Packers lead the league in both turnovers and interceptions without 2 starters on defense today, Ryan Pickett and Desmond Bishop. 3rd down and 8. 3 wide receivers set for the Chiefs. Orton hit as he throws, and the catch is made for a first down by Terrence Copper.
It's a nice job by Kyle Orton because he's got pressure right in his face. He's going to stand in the pocket. Charles Woodson comes off the left side. Eric Walden off the, or actually Morgan Burnett off the right side. He hangs in there, throws, and it's a good job by Terrence Copper getting in and out of that route. Now remember, he's going to look right at that finger. Kyle Orton with a pretty ugly-looking dislocation a couple weeks ago against the Bears.
The toss to Jones, and then he hands it off to Dexter McCluster. And McCluster dives out of bounds, forced out by Eric Walden at the 39 after a gain of 8.
Tony, that's one thing that this Packers defense is going to have to be aware of. When you're Kansas City in this position, you've got nothing to lose, so they're going to be throwing all kinds of stuff at it.
Yeah, especially off early because they want to try and keep them off balance a little bit. You saw the reverse right there. They got to be ready for anything there on defense. Kyle Orton giving a little spark to this offense, though, guys.
On 2nd and 2, here's Jones, and he picks up a first down before he is brought down by A.J. Hawk. A gain of 6 for the 12-year veteran. Thomas Jones now with his 15th, his 2nd year as a member of the Chiefs.
Yeah, and he's going to have a big afternoon today. He knows he's going to get a lot of opportunities. Romeo Crennel wants to run the football. And, you know, there was a really positive feeling with this group when we met with them on Friday. Obviously, you know the Packers are coming to town. Everybody's talking about them in their undefeated season, but this was a pretty confident group.
From the 45 on first down, the catch is made by Copper. That's his second catch, and he is in Packers territory. Gain of 10, another Chiefs first down.
And we're seeing at the start of this game some things that I think Kansas City fans haven't seen. Guys making plays. You know, it's been little things during the course of the season when these guys have lost games. Terrence Copper goes up, extends, but then watch right here. You know, just a smart play to stretch forward and get that first down.
Terrence Copper only 2 receptions all season coming into the game. He has 2 on this drive. Jackie Battle in the backfield. Orton following the pump fake, looking Copper's way. Once again, Tremont Williams on the coverage.
Little double move on the outside there, Darryl.
They saw something on film where they wanted to get Terrence Copper involved in the game. And we may see some guys slip here today because the field is it's a little loose when you get outside the numbers. They've resodded it down the middle in between the numbers.
Chiefs just 2 and 4 at home this season. 2nd and 10. Battle and McLean in the backfield. From the Packers 45, this is Jackie Battle. And he fights his way down to the 40-yard line. Gain of 5. Battle over 500 yards on the ground this season. Chiefs lost Jamal Charles, Pro Bowler last year, in game 2. So they've gone running back by committee with Jones, McCluster, Battle, and McLean.
They're working that clock. Exactly what Romeo Cornell right there wanted to do. Run the ball, control the clock, keep Aaron Rodgers off the field.
And Goose, this will be the 9th play of the drive for the Chiefs. On 3rd down and 5, another first down as Orton connects with McLean down to the Packers 31, gain of 9 yards.
A simple bunch formation out to the right. LaRon McLean runs the little arrow, finds that soft spot in the zone. And here's where it becomes critical for Kansas City. Against Green Bay, you can drive the ball between the 30s, between the 20s, take that time off the clock like we've been talking about. But now you have to cash in. You've got to get points off your drives.
And the Chiefs have not scored a touchdown on their opening drives this season, the only team in the NFL. The screen pass, and Jones takes it inside the 15, the 10, and is finally forced out of bounds by Charles Woodson at the Packers' 4-yard line. Jones catches the screen pass and takes it 27 yards.
Well, when you've got a defensive player that loves to bring pressure on the quarterback, you want to take advantage of that and get the screen right into his area. This is a well-designed play, called at the perfect time with the defense that Green Bay is running. He had a caravan of blockers out in front of him. I thought Thomas Jones was going to score on this one. There were no Packers on that side of the field.
Yeah, nice job of that offensive line to sell and pass, get downfield and get the blocks.
Here's Jackie Battle. Battle down to the 1. The Chiefs on their opening drive after the Packers deferred have gone 11 plays, 79 yards against this Green Bay defense that is ranked next to last in yards allowed this season, as you mentioned.
It's so fun when you talk to coaches and players and you hear what their plan is for the game, but now you got to come out and execute it. And this is impressive to watch this Kansas City offense go down the field and do exactly what they said they had to against this Green Bay defense.
Second and goal from the 1, Orton to the end zone. And the pass was intended for Steve Breaston.
Looks like Steve Breaston really wasn't prepared for this throw that came out as fast as Kyle Orton had it out there. Watch, as soon as he turns on his back shoulder a little bit, but in a better position to get that one.
Now 3rd and goal from the 1. McLean and Battle in the backfield. Orton on 3rd and goal, looking end zone. He throws, and the pass is off the hands of LaRon McLean with Morgan Burnett on the coverage. So the Chiefs, after driving 79 yards, forced to send out the field goal unit.
That's the only problem with this drive. The only thing they did wrong was not being able to convert. Again, it's another tough catch. You watch LaRon McLean put in a good spot. He reaches, he catches the back end, he can't pull it in. And it shows you how critical. When that screen came together to Thomas Jones, it really looked like he was going to be able to walk into the end zone. So not getting the touchdown on that play, now you've got to settle for a field goal.
It's a 19-yard attempt. Ryan Suckup from the left hash. He has hit on his last 17 attempts. A chip shot. Suckup makes it 18 in a row. So the Chiefs drive 79 yards, but are held to 3.
TGIT. Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Back in Kansas City, the Chiefs drive 14 plays, 79 yards. They take over 6 minutes off the clock, but are held to a field goal.
Yeah, but it's a positive, and I think that was the big risk at the end of that drive is, hey, you know, we're still mathematically alive in the playoff hunt, but, you know, the way the season has been for the Chiefs, why wouldn't they go for it on 4th down there trying to score a touchdown? You've got to take something positive away from that. We talked about how critical points are when you play the Packers. Better to settle for that 3.
Randall Cobb on the return, the rookie out of Kentucky. And Cobb takes it out across the 25. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense when we return to Kansas City. Chiefs lead the Packers 3-0. Aaron Rodgers and his offense going to work from their own 26-yard line without their leading wide receiver, Greg Jennings. Rodgers' first pass to the outside, and the catch is made at the 31-yard line for a gain of 5 by Donald Driver.
They may not have their leading wide receiver in Greg Jennings, but they've got a lot of weapons that they can still use. I think Jordy Nelson is a guy you have to keep an eye on. It seems like he and Aaron Rodgers are building a really, really good chemistry. Here's one of the areas that Kansas City may be able to attack. This offensive line has been in flux all season long. Chad Clifton got hurt early on, week 5. They've been looking for that replacement out there. If you can do anything, maybe you can get some pressure on that offensive line.
With 2 tight ends lined up in the backfield in front of Ryan Grant, the handoff goes to Grant, and he gains a couple.
And I think Kansas City's approach will dictate what Green Bay does, but you know, one of the things that Green Bay has to be concerned with, and it was one of the things that Mike McCarthy talked to us about, is Justin Houston and Tamba Hali. He thinks that they're very, very good edge rushers. He's going to be concerned about that. That is an area of concern for Green Bay, the offensive line and their protection, and it's going to be going up against the strength of this Kansas City front.
3 wide receivers set, 3rd down and 3. Rodgers fires, and a diving attempt is made by Jermichael Finley, so the Packers go 3 and out on their opening possession.
Michael Finley from the tight end position, he creates matchup problems. I think one of the things that Green Bay wanted to do was to see how are they going to cover Jermichael Finley. Will they just use a safety? Well, that time they had Travis Daniels, their nickel back on him.
Tim Mastay has the punt nearly blocked, and a flag is thrown as Mastay was run into. Flag back at the 21-yard line.
Here's them penalties that we talked about earlier, Dow. The dumb ones, you can't have this. I know being aggressive, trying to block the punt, you want to do something good for your team, but you can't run into the kicker.
Yeah, but Jeremy Horn does everything right except block the kick. He's there in plenty of time. He just uses an awful technique to block
Personal
it.
foul, roughing the kicker. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
I mean, he comes scot-free, Tony. He's right onto the punter, and he just uses a terrible technique. Watch him come clean right there between the wing and the end.
Yeah, he should be aiming right at his foot, not at his body. You got to come across the front. He only has one hand out. You should have both hands out, improve your odds a little bit, and go after the ball, not the person.
Yeah, exactly. You have a block point. You've watched it on film. You've watched him in pregame. You know where that ball is going to come off the foot of Tim Mastay. That is where you're going. You're not going to the punter. You're going to the block point. And Jeremy Horn went to the punter and not the block point.
So the Packers offense right back onto the field following the penalty. Grant and Kuhn in the backfield, 1st and 10 from the 48. The late handoff to Grant into Chiefs territory. gain of 5. Not only are the Packers without Greg Jennings today, Darryl, but their second and third string running backs, James Starks and Brandon Sane, both out with injuries.
Yeah, right now the Packers only have 2 running backs dressed for the game, John Kuhn and Ryan Grant. And John Kuhn will be your single back and do some different things, but you know, Mike McCarthy told us, hey, this is as banged up as we've been all season, and at this time of year, you're in the month of December, you know, that's going to be the situation with a lot of teams around the league.
Nelson in motion, second and 5 from the Chiefs' 47. Grant down to the 43-yard line, gain of 4. Glenn Dorsey made the tackle, setting up third down and 1.
And this has been one of the areas during the course of the season that Green Bay's been back and forth a little bit. James Starks gets the season started. Ryan Grant coming off a good performance last week against the Oakland Raiders. He had a good performance earlier in the year against Chicago. So it has become a little bit of running back by committee for the Green Bay Packers during the course of the year.
On third down and 1, Grant picks up a first down to the Chiefs' 38, gain of 5.
And it's just good to see him back on the field, being as productive as he's been when he's had the opportunities, because he had a pretty tough injury last year in that opening game of the season that he's had to come back from.
I'll tell you what, this Kansas City's defensive line is really giving some good opportunities for Ryan Grant to run the ball. I mean, they're all just staying on the line of scrimmage. I don't see any penetration. That offensive line is doing a great job of hooking up on the guy and just moving him out of the way. And Ryan Grant's finding some huge holes on the line of scrimmage.
Michael Finley split out wide to the right. Rodgers now looks left and then is down back at the 44-yard line. The ball came loose and it is finally recovered back at the 47-yard line. And the officials will try to get to the bottom of the pile. And it looks like it's the left tackle, Marshall Newhouse, after the hit on Rodgers by Tamba Hali.
Aaron Rodgers is one of the best in the business at making subtle moves in the pocket to still be able to get the ball thrown down the field. But on that one right there, he didn't realize Tamba Hali had gotten in behind him and was still a threat for the sack.
Looks like that his knee was down before the ball was out.
I don't know. Looks like it came out first, Goose. I tell you, they got lucky. You can see it right there. It had squirted between both of those offensive linemen. That's why they're up front blocking and not carrying the football.
10th sack of the season for Hali.
There's a free play. Nope, nope.
Play is blown dead. Movement prior to the snap.
Encroachment. Defense. Number 92. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Wallace Gilberry.
Be interesting to see if Aaron Rodgers goes over and has a talk with Gene Steratore and say, hey, you know what? In that situation, when I catch him on hard count, and they get a neutral zone infraction, you know, we want to get the ball down the field. We're going to take a shot down the field. So unless there's a chance that I might get hurt, let us take that shot down the field.
Scott Wells did a nice job of snapping the ball and let the official make the decision. If not, Aaron's going to throw that ball downfield. Like you said, Daryl's going to have a free play.
So second and 13 following the penalty. Rodgers over the middle. Ryan Grant, the intended receiver, Derek Johnson on the coverage.
They're doing a really, really good job in coverage right now. The Kansas City Chiefs have got everybody locked down, and that is not an easy task. This is a very, very talented, very, very deep group of skill players for the Green Bay Packers. And Aaron Rodgers has nowhere to go with the football.
I'll tell you what, Tamba Hali is really taking advantage of Marshall Newhouse. Hey, he's really struggling, Marshall Newhouse, trying to block that man right there.
Packers must get to the 28 for a first down. Third and 13. Rodgers looking for Jordy Nelson. There is a flag. Brandon Carr on the coverage. And it looks like this one will go against Nelson.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete forward pass. We have pass interference offense. Number 87, Penalty is declined. 4th down.
There's the end of the play right here.
Does a nice job.
There's the incomplete, yeah.
Incomplete.
He did a great job with his feet, but he didn't have possession as he went to the ground.
So Mike McCarthy sends out Mason Crosby to attempt a 59-yard field goal. We've seen some long ones this year. Crosby's career long is 58. No good from 59, and there is a flag.
Are they going to get another chance?
Chiefs may have had 12 men on the field.
Defense, 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
Now, when you talk about a team that's struggling through a season, a lot of the times it's things that are within their control. And we're seeing a classic example of this right now from the Kansas City Chiefs. They have a great opening drive on offense. They have to settle for 3 points. They come back, they force a 3 and out, and then they rough the punter. And they give Green Bay the opportunity to get the ball back. Well, now they make another stand. They miss the field goal, and now they give him another chance.
You saw Javier Arenas. He was back in the end zone waiting for a potential run back, and they had 11 men up at the line. This time they will drop Brandon Flowers back. It is a 54-yard attempt by Crosby, and it is wide to the right.
Well, he's consistent, Crosby. Both of them to the right-hand side.
He gets 2 shots at it, 1 from 59. They had 54 following the penalty. Still 3-0 Chiefs. Here's Mason Crosby, who missed the 54-yard attempt moments ago, only his 3rd missed field goal this season. And it sets up the Chiefs in excellent field position from their own 44. Off the play fake, Orton complete for a 1st down to Steve Preston in Packers territory. A 12-yard connection.
And the reason that play works is because of the play action and the fake by Kyle Orton. It pulls all the linebackers up the field. He does a nice job of hiding the football, and it just creates this huge opening for Steve Preston to find on that intermediate level.
What happens when you can't stop the run and they're gashing you a little bit? You got to overplay that run.
Chiefs drove 14 plays on their opening drive, came away with 3. Here's McCluster. McCluster gains 3 down to the 41-yard line. Eric Walden made the tackle.
One of the other things they're going to do, you wouldn't be surprised to see these guys really take these play clocks down on every snap, too. We've talked about running the football, all the things that you can do to shorten this game. Another thing is Kyle Orton's going to have his eye on that play clock, not just concerned about the end of the half and situations like that, but every single snap. Let me take this play clock down as far as I can and burn this clock while we're rolling on offense.
Second and 7. The slant caught. Preston. Terrific second effort. Another Chiefs 1st down. Gain of 8 as we check in with Kurt Menefee. Time for a game break. Kurt.
Well, the Saints trying to get that number 2 seed in the NFC out to a lead in Minnesota. That's for 6th touchdown in his last 7 games. That one from Drew Brees gives them a 7-3 lead over the Vikings. Any moves and goose?
Thanks, Kurt. Saints have won their last 5. Chiefs on the move here in Kansas City. Leading the Packers 3-0. 1st and 10 from the Green Bay 33-yard line as Jones turns the corner. And is down at the 30 after picking up 3 yards.
Leonard Pope got away with a hold on that play, and you know it's being run right where he's at too. He's going to be your tight end here, number 45. Watch him on Clay Matthews as he goes inside.
Clay Matthews does a nice job of trying to get it.
Yeah,
he's ready for Hollywood.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take that back from Leonard.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a heck of a sell. You got me on that one.
Good thing you don't have a yellow flag in your pocket.
I just threw it.
On 2nd and 7 off the play fake. The screen to McLean. And McLean has a Kansas City Chiefs first down. Inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line. He gains 13.
Well, this is the second big screen we've seen from Kansas City. Watch LaRon McLean this time come to the outside, sets on 93, spins out. There's 44 right there. Brandon Albert out in front.
They're doing a really nice job of setting it up. Brandon Albert did a great job of not going and giving any kind of idea to that defense that it was going to be a screen and then just sliding right out.
By 90! The Chiefs have already picked up 8 first downs here in the first quarter. Yankee battle up the middle. Down to the 13-yard line, a gain of 4. Well, you guys both talked about keeping the Green Bay offense off the field, and the Chiefs have been able to do that so far. Chiefs have had the ball for nearly 10 minutes in this first quarter.
And now the big thing is they've got to cash in and get the points on that opening drive. A very impressive opening drive to start this game. Got down inside the 5-yard line with a first down, had to settle for 3. They've got to punch this one in for a touchdown.
They're working that clock, too. 25 seconds left in that first quarter.
2nd down and 6. Gordon's pass broken up by Tremont Williams. It was intended for the rookie out of Pitt, Jonathan Baldwin.
You talk about a guy getting his first start and then a rookie wide receiver. This is a play that develops over time, this back shoulder fade, and Tremont Williams plays it perfect. Gets his eyes back on the quarterback. How many times do we see the defender not getting his eyes back on the quarterback? That's one of the reasons that the quarterbacks today are so successful in completing that pass on that back shoulder.
3rd down and 6. Orton fires, and that pass was behind the intended receiver, Dwayne Bowe. So once again, the Chiefs will send out the field goal unit.
That's just, it's you know, you got to be a little bit happy because you're moving the ball and you're doing some things, you're scoring some points, which you've been struggling the last couple of games, but boy, you just can't feel good right now. I mean, you've controlled this entire first quarter. There's 15 seconds left, and you may have a 6-0 lead here, but against Green Bay, that's one play away.
One quick play, too.
32-yard attempt, suck up hit from 19 earlier from the left hash. 6-0 Kansas City.
Flavor.
Green Bay Packers averaging 36 points a game. Have not scored yet today with 11 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Coming into this game, Packers have scored in 45 out of 52 quarters. They've only been shut out in 7 quarters this season.
Well, they did their off-season study, and Mike McCarthy looked at everything and said, you know what, we need to score more points. Well, they've done a tremendous job of accomplishing something they saw in the off-season and improving in that area. And it helps everything. I mean, your defense can play more aggressive because they know the offense has the firepower to get back in. So it's a great dynamic to have for a team because it spreads throughout everything, not just the offense, but the defense and special teams as well.
Mike McCarthy told us our only goal offensively to lead the league in scoring.
The game with a plan, but then you still have to go out and execute it. Kansas City does a pretty good job in that first quarter. You look at the ball control right there as we have 11 seconds left here in the first quarter.
You got to start getting 7s instead of 3s, though.
Rodgers out of the shotgun, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Pass intended for Jordy Nelson, and there is a flag.
And they brought some pressure on Aaron Rodgers right up the middle.
Looks like offensive pass interference, Goose, for the 2nd time on Nelson.
This must be something that Romeo Crennel saw on film.
Yeah, definitely.
Pass interference. Offense, number 87. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
You know, the head coaches will see stuff, and they will go to the officials before the game and say, hey, can you watch 87 on the outside? You know, he's given a little bit of hand. Now, that's the second one we've seen called, and I really haven't seen a whole lot there. It doesn't seem like that Jordy Nelson is pushing to create that separation at the end. It's more like he's got his hands up to regain his balance.
Yeah, he's not too happy himself. Look at that.
Well, they got to adjust because the officials are looking for him. That's 2 in the first quarter. How many times do you see that?
Better do some better blocking up front because Aaron Rodgers got hit on that last one right in the mouth.
Now Rodgers rolling right, throws off the hands of Jermichael Finley with 2 seconds remaining in quarter number 1.
They have just been a little bit out of sync here in the first quarter. Now, we talked about at the top, just come out and do what you do, and right now, they are not doing what they do. I mean, we usually don't see the Green Bay Packers with drops and the things that we've seen here in the first quarter. They're very efficient offensively. We talk about their explosive capabilities, but they're also very efficient.
3 wide receivers set, Finley in the slot. 2nd down and 20 as Rodgers steps up. And the pass is caught and taken up to the 23-yard line for a gain of 13 by Randall Cobb. But the Green Bay Packers have been shut out in a quarter for only the 8th time this season. They trail the Chiefs 6-0 after 1. Green Bay Packers have won 19 consecutive games. They trail the Chiefs as we start the second quarter. 6-0. 3rd down and 7. Packers must get to the 30 for first down. Rodgers steps up and throws, and the catch is made for a first down out at the 40-yard line by Randall Cobb, a 17-yard pass play.
Boy, that is a heck of a throw by Aaron Rodgers right now. Now they're trying to jump in, get into a little bit of an up-tempo offense right here because they have been out of sync throughout this first quarter. See if they jump into the no huddle, maybe change that.
1st and 10 Green Bay from the Packers' 39-yard line.
It's a little more strain on the defense, too, with communication and trying to get lined up.
Rodgers just 2 of 6 in the first quarter. Packers have the ball for under 5 minutes. From the 39-yard line, inside handoff to Grant. And Ryan Grant gains 4 out to the 43. The rookie out of Georgia, Justin Houston, made the tackle.
It was kind of funny, you know, talking to Aaron and Mike McCarthy yesterday. You know, you ask, you know, why is he having such a good season? And he said, you know what, I've given Aaron a little bit more control at the line of scrimmage. He probably has the most he's ever had during his career here with us. And you know, Aaron wasn't buying it. He's got a lot of control, but he did say he had a little bit more.
2nd and 6. Quick release and another drop by Finley.
Now, this is why they go in the no huddle, because they've been together so long. Finley, Aaron Rodgers, they know where each other's going to be, and this is a basic play right here. Just a little out, the ball is going to be there. He just has to make the catch. And that gives a little bit more tempo to an offense when they get into a no huddle situation like this.
3rd down and 6. From the shotgun, Rodgers on 3rd down throws, and the catch is made for a first down by James Jones into Chiefs territory, a gain of 10.
And there's another one of those guys, Tony, that's been together with Aaron Rodgers for a while. And I agree with you. There's certain things that they do. They play together for so long. When you talk about James Jones and Jordy Nelson and Jermichael Finley, that sometimes they do things that you can't cover as a defense.
Rodgers under pressure from Hali once again.
Baba Hali, Darryl. Wow, he is really coming. Tell you what, he's going against Marshall Newhouse. He's really putting a lot of pressure on Aaron Rodgers. He feels him every play.
14.5 sacks for Hali last season. 10 this year, including 1 of the first quarter. 3 receivers set, 2nd down and 10 from the Chiefs 49. Off the fake handoff to Grant. Rodgers moving to his right. Now he throws downfield, and Finley attempts to make a diving catch, and it deflects off his hands with Sammy Piscatelli on the coverage.
I'm surprised that Jermichael Finley wasn't more wide open on that. What a great play fake to Ryan Grant to start this play on the play action. And then a heck of a throw by Aaron Rodgers on the move. But, I mean, everybody bites on this fake. A couple guys were still chasing Ryan Grant as he came through.
Aaron Rodgers makes a great throw while he's scrambling out to his right also.
Game of inches.
Yeah.
Third down and 10. Packers must get to the 39. Driver unable to make the catch.
I don't remember seeing this many drop balls by the Packers over the course of 2 games, let alone in 1 half.
That Donald Driver who dropped that ball.
How many times?
Take a picture, man.
Yeah.
You won't see that very often.
Astay punted from his own 40-yard line. Arenas will let it bounce. So the Kansas City Chiefs, who lead 6-0, will take over. A number of uncharacteristic drops by the Packers in this first half. Back in Kansas City, Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa, Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers trailing the Chiefs 6-0. Kansas City with 2 long drives, settling for field goals on each of their first 2 possessions. Thomas Jones gained 6 out to the 21. Kyle Orton making his first start. Tyler Palko started the last 4 games. Of course, it was Matt Castle starting the first 9 until he suffered a hand injury.
Yeah, and it's one of those situations where when you lose your quarterbacks, there's Matt Castle right there. Tyler Palko was the gentleman on the sideline prior to that. It just has such a huge impact on your offense, really on your whole team.
Off the play fake on 2nd and 4. Orton's pass is caught for a first down by Dwayne Bowe. 15 yards, Bowe's first catch today.
I'll tell you what, Darryl, you talked about it earlier. The play action that Kyle Orton has is unbelievable. You see Bowe outside there. Everyone's biting on that run. Just comes back on a nice, easy comeback route. What, Kyle Orton is on today, huh?
He really is. He's playing well.
That run game sets everything up with that play action.
Play action once again, and the pass is caught by the veteran tight end, Anthony Becht. Charles Woodson the tackle. Time for a game break. Take it away, Kurt Menefee.
Well, against the Giants, bad Rex Grossman threw 2 interceptions on the first 3 possessions. Here's good Rex, hooking up with Santana Moss. 20-yard touchdown, and the Redskins have the lead at the Giants, 10-0. Kenny Moose and Goose.
Huge game for the Giants following the win by the Cowboys in Tampa last night.
Yeah, you worry about that letdown after that great win last week down in Dallas.
On 2nd and 6, Jones looks to take it up the middle, but he is bottled up by Charlie Peprok. So a 3rd down and 5 coming up for the Chiefs, who started the season by losing their first 3 games, then perfect during the month of October.
You talk about teams that talk about inconsistency, but I mean this has been unbelievable when you look at the Chiefs season. It has been so up and down. It's been an all or nothing campaign for the Kansas City Chiefs this year.
After winning the division and hosting a playoff game last year. 3rd down and 5. Orton moving to his right. Now he throws, and the catch is made for another first down by Dwayne Bowe at the 47-yard line. The Chiefs needed 5, and they gained 7.
Dwayne Bowe does a nice job. He's going to see Kyle Orton moving out to his right. He looks back. He moves the same way. Gets into that line of sight. You see him crossing right there.
Good first half for Orton. He's brought a presence of a veteran, 66 career starts prior to this one, and he's completed 10 of 15 for 113 yards.
Yellow 20! Alert! Alert!
Number 47 battle. The midfield gain of 3. DJ Smith on the tackle.
But Darryl, you know Kyle Orton played against this team earlier in the season. Threw 3 touchdown passes, but a lot of turnovers in that game. I'll tell you what, it's really helped him seeing these guys earlier in the season coming out here today. He looks pretty confident.
Yeah, I mean, he matched the 3 touchdown passes with 3 interceptions, and that's one thing that this Packer defense has done an excellent job in all season long. They lead the league in interceptions and takeaways.
That game was at Lambeau back in early October. Packers won 49-23. Orton threw for 273 and the 3 touchdowns. He sets up the screen to Battle, and Jackie Battle is close to another Chiefs first down. 7-yard pass play as Orton has completed passes to 7 different receivers.
And this is not easy to do. This is the 3rd screen we've seen, and it's been very effective for Kansas City. But you have to have all the pieces of the screen working in conjunction. There's been great patience by every guy who has run the screen. That's the 3rd person we've seen. That was Jackie Battle. We saw LaRon McClain. We saw Thomas Jones. All 3 of the running backs. Excellent patience to the point. The offensive line releasing, getting downfield, and throwing some blocks.
The Chiefs have doubled the Packers in time of possession. The handoff to Battle. Makes it up the middle down to the 40-yard line for a gain of 3 as we approach 8 minutes remaining, 2nd quarter. The formula has worked to perfection for Romeo Crennel, aside from the end result of the first 2 drives, field goals, not touchdowns.
The only disappointment that Romeo Crennel can have right now is they haven't gotten a touchdown of either one of their scoring opportunities. But one of the things they're doing very, very well today is they're being very, very good on first down. They're not having negative plays. They're not getting stuck in 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10, or 2nd and 10 plus. They're getting positive yards, staying ahead of the chains on 2nd down.
9th play of the drive for the Chiefs. As Orton throws, and it's caught by Bo. His 3rd reception of this drive, and all 3 have gone for first downs. Gain of 15.
Another great double move on the outside by Dwayne Bowe, but good position because he's got safety help over the top. Watch Charles Woodson jump the early one, but he can do that because he's got safety help with Charlie Peppra over the top. So this is a nice throw by Kyle Orton because you've got that small window in between corner and safety to fit that ball.
Cluster. Cuts it back the other way. Orton looks to throw a block. And the cluster is tackled back at the 26. So after all that, a loss of a yard.
So much for being good on first down.
Yeah, that went out the window.
That was the first negative play of the game for the Chiefs offense.
They've been very efficient, and that's what you have to do.
They're doing a good job, though, offensively of mixing it up with the screens. You know, the run game sets everything up, obviously, but tell you what, they are moving the chains. I like the way they're calling this game right now.
Orton has now completed his last 6 as Preston picks up another Chiefs first down. A.J. Hawk finally brings him down. Steve Preston gains 14.
Not only changing the plays, Tony, but changing the tempo at the line of screen. Watch how quick this one comes out. It's going to come out to Steve Preston right down here on the bottom. Jonathan Baldwin next to him. He's going to go in downfield, get the block that allows Steve Preston to get inside. But whether it's changing the plays with screens and end arounds and power run, that time it was just a change of pace by going on that quick snap.
3rd trip into the red zone for the Chiefs. They have not scored a red zone touchdown in their last 4 games coming into this one. Jones still on his feet and is finally tackled by Woodson at the 3-yard line. Thomas Jones excited. He gains 9.
Let me tell you, that's the one thing you have to guard against. When you play at Arrowhead Stadium, the last thing you want is for this crowd to get into the game. And right now, Green Bay has done nothing to take them out. You see Thomas Jones at the end of this run. He wants to get this crowd into it because this is a very, very difficult stadium to play in.
Second down and 1 from the 3, and Orton calls timeout. With just under 5 minutes remaining in the first half, it's the Chiefs leading 6-0. Kansas City Chiefs leading the Green Bay Packers 6-0. Second down and 1 for the Chiefs from the Green Bay 3. Battle tripped up, loses a yard.
I tell you what, this guy can do just about anything that you ask him to do on the defensive side of the ball. He's great in coverage. He's a great blitzer, and here he is on run support. It looks like Jackie Battle's going to have a shot to get to the pylon, and he just knifes through and gets him tripped up.
Recognized that play, I think, before the offense knew where it was going. This about an all-around player.
This is a huge third down right here. You cannot settle for another field goal.
Rodney Hudson in as an extra blocker for the Chiefs. Here's Jones. And he looks to be short.
All right, Darryl. What do you think? Gotta go.
In the beginning of the game, when you're trying to implement this plan, I agree with the decisions to kick the field goal on the opening drive. Here, I think you got to go. I think now is when you send that message that you wanted to send, Tony.
Yep. Looks like Romeo Crennel.
Leaves his offense on the field. 4th and inches from just outside the 2. Battle in the backfield with McClain. On 4th and inches, it's Jackie Battle. And it looks like he is stopped on 4th down.
Boy, did B.J. Raji do a great job.
Penetrating. Wow.
You overload the left side. You want to run the ball left, and you want to get out on the perimeter. But B.J. Raji knifes through and forces the play back inside.
3 trips to the red zone for the Chiefs. Only 6 points.
B.J. Raji, really the play of the game right now. And it's got to be so frustrating for these Chiefs to be down in this red zone and only have 6 points.
John Kuhn on 1st down.
Let's go back and take a look. And first we'll show you the play design, what they wanted to do. They've got 4 big bodies here. You got Anthony Beck there as well. Here's B.J. Raji right here. And you want to get out to the perimeter, but it's because of B.J. Raji that Jackie Battle has to go back inside. You don't have the blocking potential on the backside of this play, and then it's just the entire Green Bay defense closing down and stopping that play short.
That's exactly what B.J. Raji is supposed to do. Penetrate, force the runner back inside to your linebackers, and make him make his cut early. That was a perfect play on Green Bay today.
Rodgers on 2nd and 10, throwing from the end zone. Donald Driver, the intended receiver, Brandon Carr on the coverage.
You have to appreciate the coverage that Kansas City is doing right now defensively. Now, this is a very talented group of wide receivers. Even without Greg Jennings in the lineup, this is still a very, very good group of wide receivers, and this Chiefs secondary is doing an outstanding job with coverage.
Only 56 yards on offense. 4 straight incompletions for Rodgers. Rodgers on 3rd and 10 from the end zone. And the pass intended for Nelson. It's Carr on the coverage once again. Another flag.
Looks like we might have a timeout. Looks like Kansas City might have got a timeout before that play went off.
Prior to the play, we have a timeout called by Kansas City. With the game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 2 minutes, 43 seconds. 240 on the play clock. Thank you. 240. That will be Kansas City's 2nd charge timeout.
Back in a moment.
Let's clean up a little bit of stuff here. That timeout was called by Kansas City because they have 12 men on the field. There was a flag thrown on that play, but they got the timeout before the ball was snapped. So Kansas City having some issues with their personnel. The play on the outside with Jordy Nelson, it was not an interception. The ball was dropped there, so that's irrelevant at that time. But we're coming back from a timeout, and Kansas City had to adjust again to get another guy off the field because they had 12.
They're trying to do whatever they can to beat this Green Bay team with 11 or even 12 guys.
Chiefs had 12 men in the defensive huddle, and then Jaleel Brown sprinted off the field seconds ago. 3rd down and 10. Rodgers from the end zone, complete to James Jones. And Jones brought down at the 12-yard line. a yard shy of a first down. So the Packers forced to punt once again as we approach 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Packers have not been shut out in an entire first half all season. In fact, they have scored in the second quarter in every game this year. What a punt by Mastay. Bounces inside the 20-yard line and will be down at the 17 by Jared Bush. As we hit the 2-minute warning, Kansas City Chiefs with a 6-0 lead over the unbeaten defending champion Green Bay Packers.
Let us serve you.
Last time the Packers were shut out over the course of an entire first half, the regular season finale last year. They beat the Bears 10-3, but scored all 10 points after halftime. Timeout is taken by the Packers. They're first.
Well, the game plan today for the Chiefs was to come out and control the clock with the running game and play action and not allow Aaron Rodgers and this offense on the field. And you can see what they've done there. Now, the issue is, of course, the fact that they're settling for field goals and got stopped on fourth down. So there's still some things they have to correct. But, I mean, you can talk about it all week and plan it all week, but to come out and execute it as well as they have, up until the point where you're getting into the scoring, has been pretty impressive. But, you know, when you talk about Green Bay, you've come out, you have not played well here in the first half, but you're one play away. And that's the frustrating thing for the Kansas City Chiefs right now. As well as they've played, they have not taken advantage of their opportunities.
Second down and 9, the cluster. Tackled by Burnett at the 22-yard line. By the way, that punt by Mastay prior to the 2-minute warning, career best 71 yards. So now the Chiefs facing a 3rd down and 5 with a minute and a half remaining in this second quarter.
Chiefs are taking their time offensively to get that clock down to minimal time, just in case they go and don't make this 3rd and 5 right here. Put the ball back in Aaron Rodgers' hands.
Packers, as you see on our Fox box, upper left-hand corner with 2 timeouts. Orton on 3rd and 5, a cluster. Out across the 25, and then he is tackled by Eric Walden, and the Packers will use their second timeout. So the Chiefs will punt with 58 seconds remaining, but first a preview of the Visa halftime report.
All right, coming up on the Visa halftime report, we'll have scores and highlights from a festive Week 15 in the National Football League, including maybe the Indianapolis Colts getting an early Christmas present, maybe that first win. We'll talk about it in the Visa halftime. Now back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Kurt. Colts in action hosting Tennessee.
I like the clock management right there by Mike McCarthy. You know, you wait and see what they're going to do on 3rd down. Maybe they throw it incomplete. They do the screen. You've got 2 timeouts. You hit it real quick. You keep 1 in your pocket for your offense here in this hurry-up situation.
You think Dustin Colquitt would have ever imagined that he would not punt for the first time until a minute remaining in the second quarter? Randall Cobb back at the 20. There is a flag as Cobb is tackled after a 7-yard return by Jeremy Horn.
Looks like it's going to be on Green Bay. That's not good. Move them back.
$54-yard punt.
Holding. Return team number 24. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down, Green Bay.
Garrett Bush, the guilty Packer.
Working on the outside against Jeremy Horn. A little bit of face mask, a little bit of everything right there.
Don't they know that there's a guy specifically watching him? To get away with that inside on the line of scrimmage a little bit, Darryl, once in a while, but outside, those guys are, you know, there's a camera right on him, and the official looking right at him. You can't get away with that kind of stuff.
So the Packers with 47 seconds on the clock and 1 timeout. Following the penalty will start at their own 9-yard line. Ryan Grant. Grant out to the 27-yard line. He gains 18. Packers hurry up to the line. And Rodgers will spike it. Stops the clock with 32 seconds remaining.
That's something that Kansas City could not let happen. A big play like that on your first down. Maybe Green Bay's thinking about, you know what, we're backed up inside our 10. Maybe we won't jump in the hurry up. But you're going to go to your first play and see what happens. Kansas City lets up a big run. Now all of a sudden your whole thinking shifts. Now you're going to have to hold this Green Bay offense through to the end of the half.
From the 27 on second down. Rodgers' pass is caught out at the 34-yard line by Randall Cobb. Gain of 7, third down and 2. Under 20 seconds, Packers with 1 timeout. Pass intended for James Jones, 13 seconds remaining. It will be 4th down.
Sometimes we get caught up in the scenario of the 2-minute situation. Did you see that ball go right through James Jones's hands? Didn't get his head around.
Yeah, he didn't even think he was getting the ball. His hands were down at his side, and the ball was 2 yards from him.
And the Chiefs again having problems getting the correct personnel out prior to this punt.
Trying to balance themselves out, Kenny. They only had 10 out there that time, so for all the times they've had 12, they're just trying to get that 1 back.
They're averaging 11.
Use their final timeout. Well, the College Bowl Guide is the best app available to keep you up to date on every college bowl game this season. With exclusive videos, previews, interviews, scores, highlights, and game analysis, you won't miss a second of the action, no matter where you are. And the best part about it, it's free on the App Store. Download the College Bowl Guide now. Brought to you by The Daily and Fox Sports.
The biggest challenge for Kansas City today has been getting the right number of guys on the field, and
there you go.
A couple of times,
we got a deep guy back there.
Yep.
This whole crew right there. These are fun to play with, these telescopes. They got 11, Darryl?
I mean, it's going to be the emphasis in practice this week is to make sure we can get 11 guys on the field, guys. Not 12, not 10.
Another terrific punt by Maste, taking out the 11 by Arenas. 9-yard return out to the 20 with 1 second on the clock. A 54-yard punt by Maste. Boy, how much would Romeo Crennel love to end this 19-game winning streak? The only longer streak in NFL history. The New England Patriots won 21 consecutive games over the 2003 and 2004 seasons. Crennel was their defensive coordinator.
He wouldn't have motivation because of that, would he, Kenny? I tell you, it's impressive. You never know what's going to happen when you have change during the course of the season. Mike McCarthy, he said he knew they were going to get their best effort today. And I tell you what, it's a good first half by Kansas City, just not scoring enough points.
This Packers trail at the half for the 4th time this season. The Visa halftime report is next. Back in Kansas City, where the Chiefs lead the Packers 6-0. Kenny Albert with Darryl Johnston. Green Bay Packers lead the league in scoring, lead the league in touchdowns, shut out in the first half for the first time this season.
Well, at the beginning of the broadcast, we talked about Green Bay just doing what they do, and in the first half, they didn't do what they do. We had drop passes. They looked out of sync, inefficient. The great thing about Green Bay is there's so much confidence with this team that in the locker room at halftime, hey, we're fine. Did we play well in the first half? Absolutely not. Let's get back out there in the second half and get back at what we're doing that we've done all season long. Now, Kansas City, that would be the interesting thing. I would have loved to have been in that locker room to hear what Romeo Crennel had to say about them, because they came out and did everything he asked them to do except finish the drives. And I think Howie made a great point. The change to Kyle Orton that Romeo Crennel felt was necessary, the first thing he did, really gave these guys a shot of confidence, and just that change helped them out in the first half to play the way they did.
Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. Remember, the Packers won the opening coin toss. They deferred, so Green Bay will get the ball first here in the second half. Randall Cobb takes it out. And he is tackled at the 12-yard line by Jaleel Brown. So the Packers will start deep in their own territory. Goose, you had a chance to catch up with Packers head coach Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy, you know, Darryl, you're exactly right. He talked about fundamentals, about catching the ball, about tackling on defense. He said that was not us in the first half. We'll address it, we'll get better in the second half, and we're not going to panic at all. So, Darryl, you hit the nail right on the head.
Aaron Rodgers, season lows in the first half, only 6 completions, 59 yards. Packers with only 5 first downs in the first half, and Grant picks up a first down on the first play from scrimmage here in the third quarter as he gains 13.
Maybe we'll see Green Bay kind of emulate what Kansas City did there in the first half. Come out, let's establish this running game. Let our guys come off the ball a little bit. Let's see what Ryan Grant's got here in the second half running the football.
Ryan Grant's doing a great job of running through arm tackles through there in the line of scrimmage.
And now a direct snap to Randall Cobb on 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. And Cobb gains 4 out to the 29 with Rodgers on the sidelines.
I think you're reaching in the playbook a little bit too far down the
way far
catalog right there. I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers on the field. One of those things that you get teams to think about, right, Goose? They got to prepare for.
Yeah. You know, next week will be like, all right, there's one play and it eats up a little bit of practice time during the week. Not like they have a lot. It wasn't like when we were playing, Darryl. He's regulated now.
Second down and 6. Here's Grant. Grant stopped just shy of the marker. Justin Houston made the tackle.
Take a look at, oh boy, that would be tough. Brian Beluga, your right tackle, and the one area that Green Bay, you know, has been doing some patchwork stuff this season is that offensive line. They've had a couple of different starting combinations, some guys in and out. Even last week, you know, having the opportunity getting up on Oakland to take a look at Derek Sherrod and, you know, Evan Dietrich Smith moving into different positions just in case, but this would be a huge hit. Chad Clifton already down, your left tackle, and now Brian Beluga down here. Keep your eye on 75 right there, working on Justin Houston.
And Beluga missed 2 games earlier this season, weeks 4 and 5 with a knee injury. He is helped off and will be replaced at right tackle by the rookie first-round pick out of Mississippi State, Derek Sherrod.
Having Brian Beluga, that's big.
Packers playing with a young tackle on the other side in Marshall Newhouse in his second season. And now the rookie Sherrod in at right tackle. Third down and 1. John Kuhn bottled up. Derek Johnson stopping Kuhn on third down.
And they made a wall there on the line of scrimmage at Kansas City's defensive line. There was nowhere to run. Watch these guys going, holding everybody up. No chance at all. Derek Johnson did a great job of just coming through and stopping that. That was a short 3rd and 1, too.
So Mastay punting for the 4th consecutive possession. Had a career-long 71-yarder in the second quarter, and he forces Arenas all the way back to the 6-yard line. Penalty marker is thrown as Arenas is forced out of bounds, and another flag comes out 61-yard punt, 17 on the return. Gene Steratore will sort out the 2 penalty markers.
This is the other area that Kansas City has made their mistakes in today. They've had some critical penalties during the course of the game this afternoon. And these special teams fouls, they're spot fouls. They're where the ball was caught, not at the end of the run.
There are 2 fouls during the return. First is illegal block in the back, return team number 24, that penalty is declined. Also there is a hold, number 40 of the return team. That will be half the distance to the goal. First down, Kansas City, timeout.
So Kyle Orton and the Chiefs on offense when we return.
South.
There's Brian Bulaga heading off to the Packers locker room. Bulaga with a knee injury. His return today is questionable. Kyle Orton and the Chiefs start from their own 5-yard line. Orton, good first half, 14 of 19, 152 yards in his first start as a member of the Kansas City Chiefs, and Thomas Jones gains 4 up to the 9-yard line.
But the big thing, good decision making, no mistakes by Kyle Orton. And we've talked about his first time around earlier this year with the Denver Broncos against the Green Bay Packers. Had the 3 picks. You could see how many different guys he's working with during the course of that first half.
Jim Zorn, Chiefs quarterback coach, former head coach of the Washington Redskins. Here's Jones again. Goes out to the 11-yard line, setting up 3rd down and 4. Charles Woodson makes his 11th tackle of today's game.
3rd down and 3 from the Chiefs 12-yard line.
Chiefs have been inside the red zone 3 times today. They've come away with 2 field goals and were stopped on a 4th and inches at the 2-yard line. Looking to extend this drive. 3rd down and 4. They must get to the 15, and they will not, as Jarius Wynn makes the tackle. Thomas Jones loses 2 yards, and the Chiefs will punt it away.
Well, they were waiting on this one. Jarius Wynn inside, fights off the block, steps right into the running lane.
Randall Cobb awaiting Dustin Colquitt's punt, only his 2nd punt today. Stationed back in the end zone. This should set up good field position for the Packers as Cobb falls forward. Fair catch at the 47-yard line. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense. 6-0 Chiefs. Packers have scored points all season long, especially in their previous 3 games against the AFC West.
That's a pretty impressive run against the division, but doesn't look like they're going to match that today. Doesn't look like they're going to get into the 40s.
They've scored at least 42 points 5 times this season. They have scored at least 24 in every game. No points so far today. This is their best starting field position from their own 46. Grant to the outside, across midfield. And he is forced out of bounds by Derek Johnson after a gain of 7.
Well, we've talked about Green Bay not looking in sync today, and whether it was Derek Johnson when we asked him what does Aaron Rodgers do best, or even talking to Aaron himself and saying, what do you think, what part of your game have you seen the greatest improvement from last year to this year? It was location of the ball. I mean, both guys said it. And when you think back on his season, he has been phenomenal with his placement, and that hasn't been the case today. It's the one area that has really impacted their passing game.
2nd down and 3. Play action. Rodgers throws, and the pass is short, intended for Jordy Nelson.
A great play action right there. The guys bid on it. That ball looked like it just died right there. Did you see that's what was coming out of his hand now?
Yeah.
I don't know if the wind affected it or what. I mean, the wind's pretty windy. It is pretty windy down here, but I think it would have affected that much.
Jordy Nelson without a catch today. Came in with 51. 957 yards on the season. Third down and 3. Rodgers floats one up for Jermichael Finley, who makes the catch. What an adjustment by Finley, who dropped a couple in the first half. He makes a tremendous adjustment on this pass and gains 40 yards.
Well, so much for the location being a little bit off today. Jermichael Finley working out of the bunch. This ball is lofted up, coming in, and it's in a great position. And as you pointed out, Kenny, a great adjustment by Jermichael Finley. Well, he dropped that one in.
Biggest play for the Packers today, 40 yards. First and goal from the 7 as the Packers empty the backfield. Rodgers moving to his right. And then he's wrapped up by Hali, stays on his feet and then throws it into the 10th row. Somehow he got away from Tamba Hali and fired the football into the stands behind the end zone.
But I want you to watch what he does when he gets near contact in the pocket. Watch both hands come onto the ball right in here. He gets it down, secures it, then as he spins out, he gets rid of it to avoid the sack. But the thing that impresses me about Aaron Rodgers is his feel in the pocket. He's got great subtle moves, whether it's a slide or a step up. He senses pressure coming from blind spots.
Second and goal from the 7, empty backfield once again. Rodgers looking, moves to his left, looks right. Now will run, he's inside the 5, and he is hit hard at the 3 by Derek Johnson. Comes up
He's telling
smiling.
he wants to be hit harder now.
Yeah.
You gotta love that. Aaron Rodgers does a great job of scrambling, gets out to his left, looking for his receivers downfield. Kansas City has them all covered up. Decides to run, tucks it like Darryl talks about ball control.
You don't want to get tall and disappointed contact, though, Tony. You want to
You want to slide and so get out of the way. He loves it, though.
Stood on his toes.
4 receivers set. Third and goal from the 2. Rodgers to the end zone. Touchdown, Donald Driver.
That's the scary thing about Green Bay. You can hold them at bay the whole first half, but they're so explosive. Donald Driver working out of the slot. Great release against Jaleel Brown. But you can never feel safe against this offense.
Here's Crosby. Hits the extra point. So the Packers, who trailed for the last 30 minutes, 52 seconds, have their first lead of the afternoon. Moments ago, 40th touchdown pass of the season for Aaron Rodgers. That is a new Packers franchise record. Brett Favre with 39 back in 1996.
It shows you just how well he has been playing this season. Everybody talked about Aaron Rodgers, making a move to become one of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL through the course of last season, and then winning the championship and kind of joining that group of Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and Drew Brees, and he has just ramped it up another level this season. It's just been outstanding.
He joins Brady, Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, and Kurt Warner as the only quarterbacks in history to throw at least 40 in one season as the ball blows off the tee. Goose talked about the wind.
Yeah, the wind has really picked up down here. If you look, the one end zone above that big giant jumbotron there, Kenny, the flags are stiff straight out. And, I think it's affecting the ball a little bit. I think that Aaron Rodgers' pass was affected by the wind. Saw it shift a little bit, so it could be a concern here in the third quarter.
Yes, it is the third quarter, Goose. Sam
I was gonna say
Shields.
second half there, Kenny.
Sam Shields will assist Crosby.
ball, too.
And McCluster will take it out. Dexter McCluster is caught by the holder on the kickoff, Sam Shields, and there is a flag. 26 yards on the return.
A lot of special team penalties on Kansas City
During
today.
the return, holding, return team number 42. 10-yard penalty, first down, Kansas City.
Sammy Piscatelli. Special teams coach Steve Hoffman.
He's got to be frustrated. I mean, they've really put Kansas City in some bad field position to start the drives with these special teams penalties.
Chiefs will start at their own 11-yard line. Mike McCarthy spent 6 years in Kansas City, his first NFL coaching job under Marty Schottenheimer with the Chiefs, and he told us yesterday, I know how hard it is to win in this stadium with these fans. And the Packers finally have their first lead of the day. Orton on first down to a wide open Leonard Pope, and the tight end takes it across midfield. A 39-yard pass play.
Kyle Orton had all day back there. Wow.
Yeah, this was great, though, Tony, because you're running a double move at the top to Dwayne Bowe, and then Leonard Pope right here is going to sneak out the other side and just go straight up the field. They turn him completely loose down the seam. But it was a good job by Kyle Orton with the pump to the outside. Dwayne Bowe on a double move, then you come back to the opposite side of the field, and Leonard Pope is wide open down the seam.
Biggest play on offense for the Chiefs today. 39 yards. Orton off the play fake. Going deep for Baldwin. And the rookie unable to hang on. Jonathan Baldwin with Morgan Burnett on the coverage.
There's some great location by Kyle Orton right there.
There was an opportunity right there. Double coverage. Kyle Orton put it in a spot where he could have got it.
Morgan Burnett with a little bit of contact there right as he comes into the play. Jonathan Baldwin got his hands on it. Look at the location. Oh, you know, look at Tramon Williams. Great job swiping that ball out.
51! 51!
Packers defensive line better find a pass rush somewhere.
Second down and 10. Orton stands in the pocket, now moves to his right and throws wide open. It's Baldwin who picks up a Chiefs first down to the Green Bay 33 as Baldwin gains 17.
I'll give that one to the offensive line because Kyle Orton had all day to stand in that pocket, was never even pressured at all. I mean, they just built a wall. There is no movement whatsoever.
Get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile. Call ** NFL Now. New set of downs for the Chiefs, who trail 7-6. From the Packers 33, it's Thomas Jones. Takes it down to the 28-yard line. Gain of 5. DJ Smith, the tackle.
I wouldn't have thought this coming into the game. When you talk about Aaron Rodgers going up against Kyle Orton, he's only been here a couple of weeks, getting his first start, coming back from a dislocated finger, and he has outplayed Aaron Rodgers this afternoon. Aaron Rodgers has had some drops by his guys on the outside, but you can't take away from how well Kyle Orton has played in his first start for the Kansas City Chiefs.
We have one guy who's been named NFC Offensive Player of the Month in all 3 months so far this season, and the other has not started since week 5. Penalty flag as Jones is tackled at the 25-yard line after a gain of 3.
Illegal shift, offense, 2 men moving without resetting. 5-yard penalty, replay, second down.
A lot of things within the control of the Kansas City Chiefs when they're having these penalties. We saw them struggle in the first half with 12 players on the field. Illegal shift, I mean, that's basic stuff. They've got to clean the penalties up that are within their control and get rid of them here the remainder of this second half.
Last week against the Jets, 5 penalties on 1 drive. Orton does a 360, looks to set up the screen to McClain, but it did not fool the Packers.
This is one of those plays where you're going to do a screen, and you're going to do the double move and spin out, and you're trying to impact the defense. But watch, nobody moves. You're trying to get the screen to LeRon McClain. Well, when you come out of that, you got to find him. And if the Packers haven't bitten on this, then just throw it into the ground. I mean, you're not giving LeRon McClain very much of a chance for a positive play right here. So you've got to get your eyes back onto your running back. See if you fooled Green Bay with the motion, the play action on that screen, and they did not on that play.
Loss of 4, now 3rd and 14, and Orton calls timeout. 4.5 remaining, third quarter in Kansas City. Packers leading the Chiefs by 1. Mike McCarthy and the Packers look to defend their Super Bowl title. Romeo Crennel with 5 rings as an assistant coach with the Giants and the Patriots.
I was not aware of that either. That's a great run that Romeo Crennel with 2 very, very good teams.
We were wondering if he was going to wear all 5 of them today.
There's Orton on 3rd down and 14, complete to McClain. And Eric Walden, who's had an active game, able to make the tackle. So the Chiefs, who trail by a point, send out the field goal unit. Ryan Suckup hit 2 in the first quarter from 19 and 32 yards out.
This is not going to be easy. That wind's going from right to left for him. See the ribbons on the top of the goalpost.
This will be a 46-yard attempt as the Packers have some trouble with personnel. DJ Smith scrambles out to the field. High snap from 46 yards out. Suckup's kick is good. Despite the swirling winds, Chiefs go back on top. Now 9-7 Kansas City. Suckup today, 3 for 3.
In a hurry, they're going fast.
Ryan Suckup with his 3rd field goal today. A 7-play, 61-yard drive to keep playing. The 39-yard reception by that man, Leonard Pope, one of 10 different receivers Orton has connected with today.
And that was a nice response by the Kansas City Chiefs on that drive. You've been playing well all day. You've held Green Bay at bay. They come down, they take the lead at 7-6 after you've really controlled the game, and you come down and retake the lead. So well done by Kansas City.
Cobb will bring it out. Cobb takes it across the 20. Time for another game break. Here's Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles. Kurt.
Hey, this one's for Goose. Some defense. Big defensive end Red Bryant with a pick 6 for Seattle. They lead 21-14 in Chicago. And then look at this. Indianapolis's Jacob Lacey picks off the former Seahawks quarterback Matt Hasselbeck. He returns it for a score. Indy looking for that first win of the season. Leads it 17-6 in the third quarter over the Tennessee Titans. Kenny Moose and Goose.
I was worried about Chicago today coming back from that heartbreaking loss to Denver and then all the stuff that's happened during the course of the week with Sam Hurd.
Bears trailing the Seahawks by 7. Chiefs leading this game 9-7. 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. Rodgers complete to Grant. Out of the 27 for a gain of 5. Derek Johnson made the tackle.
And I think we have to credit more the Kansas City Chiefs secondary than the fact that it's just Greg Jennings out of the lineup today, because there is a tremendous amount of depth at the wide receiver spot for the Green Bay Packers, along with Jermichael Finley, their tight end. It has been a great effort by all the guys in the secondary for Kansas City.
Finley only 1 reception. Driver has 2 and a touchdown. Jordy Nelson without a reception today.
That is surprising.
Second down and 4. Rodgers steps up and picks up a first down and more. Finally slides. Smart move by Rodgers down at the 47-yard line as he scrambles for 19 yards.
That was a smarter ending to a run there by.
This is a pretty good vision, though, Goose. I mean, he looks like a running back here coming through. Some nice moves here.
Did a nice job here at the end. Especially if you watch, he goes, he slides, and then when he gets up, he gets the. Look at that. That's the secret spy move.
A nonverbal communication that Rodgers spoke about with us yesterday, both before and after plays. Just sending a message to you, Deuce.
I'll be watching you. That's what that one was.
Here's Grant. And he gains a yard, wrapped up by Tyson Jackson and Glenn Dorsey. 2 minutes remaining, third quarter. Packers find themselves in an unfamiliar position. Remember, they have never trailed in the fourth quarter during this entire 19-game winning streak, dating back to last December. They have not been behind in the fourth quarter. We are a minute 45 seconds away.
That is unbelievable. What an impressive stat.
Second down and 9. Rodgers complete to Finley for a first down. Jermichael Finley takes it to the Chiefs' 41, gain of 12.
That's a big target right there, Darryl. Jermichael Finley. Watch this little route. He just knows. He looks at Aaron Rodgers, comes in. That's a big man right there.
Good hands, too, because that was on the back hip a little bit.
Nice job of staying on his feet, not knowing where the first down marker is beginning and crossed.
Territory is going to pump up the play clock as we take a look at Rodgers' numbers in the first half and in this third quarter. New set of downs for the Packers from the Kansas City 41. Movement prior to the snap.
All strike. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's the rookie right tackle Derek Sherrod, who is in for the injured Brian Bulaga.
Green Bay said that we're going to start the game allowing Marshall Newhouse, and now I'm sure it'll be the same with Derek Sherrod, to be in one-on-one situations because they take their guys, they spread the field. They're not going to have tight ends inside on the lineup and trying to protect their tackles on the edges. These guys are going to have to win their one-on-one battles.
Play clock at 2. First down and 15. Rodgers steps up, and now he fires downfield looking for Jones, and it is intercepted in the end zone. If he got both feet down, he did not. Brandon Carr was bobbling it, did not have possession. So it will be second down and 15.
You can see right there he did not have possession as he got his feet down before he went out of bounds.
Immediately the official said he was juggling the football. And now Romeo Crennel has thrown the challenge flag.
Remember, the first thing the officials are going to do is check the feet. He doesn't even get the second foot down, so it doesn't even matter about possession.
Kansas City is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass. Timeout.
Carr did not get that second foot down in bounds. Chiefs have challenged. Chiefs territory. We'll take a look. Chiefs have challenged the last play. Did not look to us as if Carr got his second foot down in bounds. Here's Chiefs territory.
After review, the ruling is confirmed. The defender's second foot lands out of bounds. Therefore, it was an incomplete pass. It will be Green Bay's ball, second down. Kansas City will be charged with his second timeout.
And again, you'll see the right foot go down. As Brandon Carr goes to get that left foot in, it goes out of bounds. Down in the white, and from this camera angle here, right there, you can see it.
So it is now second down and 15 for the Packers. 4 seconds remaining, third quarter. Rodgers dumps it off, a screen to Grant. And Grant takes it to the 39. And that will take us to the end of the third quarter. So for the first time in their last 20 games, the Packers will trail in the fourth quarter. It's 9-7 Kansas City. Well, thousands of Packers fans have made the trip to Kansas City for the game today. Not sure they expected this.
No, I don't think so. And I'm still impressed by how many Packer fans have made the trip down here to Arrowhead. Usually when you come to Arrowhead, you don't see a lot of your fans in the stands.
As we start the fourth quarter, it's the 5-8 Chiefs who made a coaching change this week, who lead the 13-0 Packers 9-7. Third down and 8 for Green Bay. They must get to the 31 for a first down, as Rodgers' pass is incomplete. Piscatelli getting a piece of it. Finley, the intended receiver.
One of the things that Kansas City has done on a regular basis today is made Aaron Rodgers feel uncomfortable in the pocket with only 4 guys pressing.
And now the Packers will go for it on fourth down and 8 from the 39. Instead of either punting or attempting a 57-yard field goal. Rodgers on fourth down, steps up, throws to the outside, and Finley unable to make the catch.
I thought Savvy Piscatelli was going to have an opportunity for an interception on this one.
I'll tell you, that ball floated. Take a look at Aaron Rodgers right here. Justin Houston reaches in.
You know what? The Chiefs are better off without the interception. Better field position.
Good play, Kenny.
Not that that was what went through Piscatelli's mind at the time.
No, he wanted it.
So the Chiefs, with a 9-7 lead, will take over at their own 39-yard line. Wayne Bowe in motion. Off the play fake to Jones. Orton with loads of time. He throws, and it's Steve Preston who makes the catch in Packers territory for a gain of 16 and a Kansas City Chiefs first down.
Now, Kyle Orton has been very good with his decisions today. Here's Steve Preston on the right side. They're running mirrored routes. He's running the same thing that Dwayne Bowe is on the other side. Kyle Orton wanted to go to Dwayne Bowe, but he stumbled coming out of his break. You see him right there looking left and then adjust and comes back to the right side to hit Steve Preston.
Number 45, it's McClain. Close to another Chiefs first down.
Howard Green was laying down there a little slow getting up. It's Green Bay's defensive line. The defense in general has got to be a little wore out. Kansas City's offense has been doing a great job of keeping them on the field for a long time. They look flat down here, this Green Bay defense, Darryl.
The whole team has.
Man,
the whole team.
You know, it's just waiting for a spark to see what happens. They're not getting the pass rush, you know. Third and longs. Play action is beaten.
Leonard Pope wide open again.
He stepped out before he got it inside the pylon.
.34 yards from Orton to Pope.
Leonard Pope working from the traditional tight end spots, just going to run a corner route. Green Bay defense, again, gets caught up in play action, finds a great spot in that soft area in the coverage.
So it's first and goal from inside the 3. Remember, twice the Chiefs have been inside the 3-yard line. Once had to settle for a field goal from the 19-yard field goal, and then they were stopped on fourth down at the 2.
Good thing Leonard Pope stepped out of bounds. He might have had a chance of fumbling that ball into the end zone.
Here's Thomas Jones, and he is hit for a loss by the combination of DJ Smith and A.J. Hawk.
DJ Smith's done a great job jumping in for Desmond Bishop at the inside linebacker spot.
Fourth trip into the red zone for the Chiefs. They have not scored a touchdown. Coming into this game, only 3 touchdowns in their last 6 games.
They've been so good on first down, and not very many negative plays at all. And then your first opportunity down here inside the 5, you have a negative play on first down.
Now second and goal. Orton to the end zone. Intended for Baldwin with Sam Shields on the coverage. And that play you mentioned, Darryl, the Chiefs' 3rd negative play at goal to go today.
Wow. I guarantee you they don't have 3 negative plays in the field of play during the course of this game. As many as they've run. This is a huge snap.
3rd and goal from the 5. Penalty marker prior to the snap. It's a false start against the Chiefs.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Left tackle, Brandon Albert.
They've been really changing up that personnel, going with the ground game, the big guys. Now they're out again. Said they're going to spread them out on this one again. Green Bay's defense got to be thinking pass right here.
Now you go from 1st and goal at the 3 to 3rd and goal at the 10.
Negative play now, penalty. 3 wide receivers. 3rd and goal from the 10-yard line for the Chiefs. Over the middle. What a tackle by Clay Matthews as he brings down Dexter McCluster at the 2, and once again the Chiefs will send out the field goal unit.
And the fans here are not happy, but I like the decision. You went for it in the first half. In this situation, you didn't get it. You forfeited your points. You've got to make it a 2-possession game. You know, you've got to think you're going to hold Green Bay to a field goal. I know they're explosive, but I like the decision by Romeo Crennel here.
From 20 on the left hash. So it is now a 5-point game, which means if you do hold the Packers to a field goal, it would be a 2-possession game. 12-7 Chiefs. 4 field goals for Ryan Succop of the Chiefs today. 4 trips to the red zone. Chiefs come away with 3 field goals. They were also stopped on the 2. But they lead the Packers, who have won 19 consecutive games, 12-7 early in this 4th quarter.
Nothing worse than seeing short field goals in the box score on Monday, Kenny. You see those 19, 20, 21-yard field goals. That means you were not finishing your drives offensively and deep on first down. I mean, the opening drive of the game inside the 5 with a 1st and goal. That drive there inside the 5 with a 1st and goal.
The Chiefs offense that has scored only 15 touchdowns all season. This is game number 14. They've averaged just over 1 touchdown per game. Aaron Rodgers and the unbeaten Packers trailing by 5. Kyle Orton in his first start with the Chiefs, leading the Packers 12-7.
Probably talking about missed opportunities on the sideline. The Kansas City Chiefs today, 10 plays inside the 5-yard line for a grand total of 3 yards.
Wow. Chiefs have not been able to punch it into the end zone. They lead by 5 as Rodgers hands it off to Grant. Grant gains 3 out to the 23-yard line. The only touchdown for the Packers today, the 2-yard pass from Rodgers to Donald Driver in the 3rd quarter. Rodgers' 40th touchdown pass of the season, breaking Brett Favre's single-season franchise record. A look at the Chiefs in the red zone today. 17 plays. They come away with 3 field goals. Now it's up to their defense once again against the Packers club that has scored at least 24 points in every game this season. They have 7 today. Rodgers makes something out of nothing as he hits Grant for a 1st down. And Ryan Grant takes it all the way out to the 45-yard line for a gain of 21.
Again, the presence that Aaron Rodgers has in the pocket and just subtle moves. His eyes are always down the field. You know, we've seen him run effectively, but look at him. He scans around, he checks where everybody is, and when he realizes he has time, he pops back up, gets downfield, and finds Ryan Grant.
He does not feel comfortable in that pocket, though. This Kansas City defensive line has brought some pressure. After a couple seconds, well, he's looking around to see if he's going to get hit.
From the 45, play action on first down. Rodgers in trouble. He escapes from Holly once again and throws, and it's broken up. Beautiful play by Kendrick Lewis.
We got another lineman down for the Green Bay Packers. Marshall Newhouse was up calling for the trainers to get out immediately.
It's Derek Sherrod, the right tackle, who came in to replace Bulaga.
As Tamba Hali comes in for the sack, Derek Sherrod is engaged in his block and gets hit down in his lower leg. And Marshall Newhouse, right away when he saw it, he was calling for the Green Bay trainers to get out to the field.
Here's Bulaga, who injured his knee earlier. Back in Kansas City, the medical staff tending to Packers rookie right tackle Derek Sherrod. The rookie out of Mississippi State, injured on the last play.
And Tamba Hali is going to be coming in. There's Tamba Hali, 91. Now, Derek Sherrod is 78. He's right here engaged with this block, and as he misses the sack, he collides with the lower leg, and they've got an air cast on it right now. And Marshall Newhouse, who was standing over him right there, number 94, immediately called for assistance from the sideline. So a patchwork offensive line coming into the game. Things have just gotten worse for the Green Bay Packers. Ryan Bulaga on the sideline there, who's been out. Chad Clifton, who went out in week 5 against the Atlanta Falcons with a severe hamstring injury. Marshall Newhouse has been holding down his position at left tackle. So we're going to have some shifting and some moving right here as Evan Dietrich Smith comes onto the field. We'll see where that sits. Does Josh Sitton stay at kick out to right tackle and Evan Dietrich Smith go into right guard? We'll sort that out when we start to play again. But a concern for this group coming into the game has just gotten worse, especially with this injury here to Derek Sherrod. Obviously quite serious in nature.
Sherrod wishing his teammates well. First round pick, 32nd overall out of Mississippi State, who came into the game back in the second quarter for the injured Brian Bulaga, who hurt his knee.
And tough, Kenny, because here's a player who's worked his way through, practice during the course of the season. The coaches felt he'd earned the right, to get some snaps on the field, and played quite a bit last week against Oakland. And the coaches said, yeah, there's some things he's got to work on, but we were pleased, how he worked with the guys next to him at game speed. So something that was very, very positive after the game last week. Unfortunately, looks like his season has come to an end here this afternoon in Kansas City.
Bulaga.
Ryan Bulaga went out with the knee injury, so hopefully, he's been back on the sideline. His return,
yeah, but he's got his pads on.
Yeah, the return was questionable,
yeah,
Tony, but
I know.
Packers have one other active offensive lineman, Ray Dominguez, a rookie out of Arkansas. There's Dominguez.
Tough part about this game, it's a physical game, and you have injuries like that just happen during the course of the game. And again, a guy who's worked the entire season to get better at his craft at the tackle position and played well last week, against the Oakland Raiders. Unfortunately, his season will come to an end here today.
And Sherrod receives an ovation from the crowd. His teammates. It is Evan Dietrich Smith who checks in. It looks like at left guard, and T.J. Lang will kick out to right tackle.
Don't be surprised to see Tom Bahali line up on whoever is at right tackle.
They better slow down. The clock's not even off the field yet. They're out on the line of scrimmage. There you go.
All right, now we are set. 10:02 remaining fourth quarter. Chiefs lead the Packers 12-7. Driver in motion, 2nd and 10 for Green Bay. Two tight ends set. The handoff to Ryan Grant. Nothing. Wallace Gilberry in to make the tackle.
Kansas City did a good job of building a wall. If Ryan Grant could just get backside to his left a little bit more, he had some wide open space to make some serious yardage. Good job right there by Kansas City, wrapping him up and getting him down on that line of scrimmage.
Third down and 10. Rodgers hit, down he goes. Back at the 35-yard line, Allen Bailey, the rookie third-round pick out of Miami with his first career sack.
I think you have to kind of adjust what you're doing right now. You're going with 5-man protections with just John Kuhn inside. That's Evan Dietrich Smith, who just came in to play the left guard spot, got beat inside. You've got to firm up your protections a little bit here for the Green Bay Packers. You don't want to be releasing everybody downfield.
Arenas from the 17. Arenas takes it out to the 33-yard line. 16 on the return, 47-yard punt. The Kansas City Chiefs get the ball back. They lead by 5. 8:50 remaining, fourth quarter in Kansas City. Chiefs will take over at their own 34-yard line, leading the 13-0 Packers 12-7.
Well, this defense has benefited from an explosive offense all season long. It's time for them to get a little bit of a payback. Make a big play here. How about their offense who's been struggling today?
The end around to Steve Breston. Breston picks up a first down and more into Packers territory. Ball came loose at the end of the play, but he was already out of bounds. Breston gains 25 yards.
Well, just some really fundamental basic plays when you talk about an aggressive free flow defense. Here comes Steve Breston on the end around. And we've seen the end around a couple of times. We've seen screen plays. The play calls that the Kansas City Chiefs have been running have been great, you know, by the style of what Green Bay plays, but they're pretty fundamental plays that this defense should be able to shut down.
From the 41 on first down, Orton fires downfield looking for Preston. Tremont Williams on the coverage, no flags.
And they've been going after Tremont Williams all day, Darren.
Yeah, I know, and Tremont Williams is a good player.
A Pro Bowler last year.
That is a great release off the line of scrimmage by Steve Breston.
On 2nd and 10, wide receiver screen to Dwayne Bowe. And Bowe picks up a Chiefs first down at the Packers 28, 13 yards for Bowe.
DJ Smith was just linking over there, looked like.
Well, you got to have some recognition there, Tony. You've got Anthony back outside with Dwayne Bowe. We saw this in the first half, too. The thing that makes that successful is it's run quickly. Kyle Orton is up to the line of scrimmage, and it's a quick count. You get the ball outside right away.
McLean up the middle down to the 21-yard line. Charlie Pepra finally made the tackle. McLean gained 7.
They've done a nice job with these running backs today. All three of them really contributing in this game. Ron McLean, Thomas Jones, Jackie Battle, and don't forget Dexter McCluster too. Look at that time of possession. Exactly what Romeo Cornell wanted to achieve.
Off the play fake. Orton complete. Down to the 4-yard line. Anthony Bent.
Kansas City has been very, very good today infield, but when they get down here inside the 5-yard line, they have really struggled. Little play action, dragging Anthony back across the field. They're on the 5-yard line, and again, so far during the course of this game today, 10 plays inside the 5-yard line for a grand total of 3 yards. This is where this Chiefs offense has just hit a roadblock.
Thomas Jones.
I'll tell you what, Darryl, me and you talked about it going commercial. That naked is there. Kyle Lorton, when he came out that right side on that last play, everybody bit on that run inside. Nobody was covering Kyle Lorton. I wouldn't be surprised if they come back with that.
It's been one of the plays that's been really effective out in the field for him. Bootleg, and then, or if Kyle decides to just take it on his own. I know you're tight to the end zone, but maybe even a screen here. The screen has been the other good play. Just do a walk-in screen.
Three receivers set. 2nd and goal. From the 4. McLean. Takes it down to the 1. So the Chiefs once again facing 3rd and goal. As they send in Pope, they send in Battle, an extra blocker, and Rodney Hudson. Three tight ends, 3rd and goal from the 1. Jackie Battle is in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Again, here's that big formation. You got 4 big bodies to the right side. This time, they take control of the penetration. They actually pull John Asamoah to the outside. Jackie Battle gets in behind all those big bodies. Runs over Charles Woodson on his way in, or no, that's a block by LaRon McLean to get him into the end zone.
Remember, every scoring play is reviewed. Jackie Battle with his 2nd touchdown of the season. Suck up the extra point, and with under 5 minutes remaining here in Kansas City, the 13-0 Green Bay Packers trail by 12.
This is the same play that they ran earlier on the 4th down in the first half when B.J. Raji came through and made a great play. Got the big bodies on the outside, Joe Asamoah, and there's LaRon McLean turning back inside, helping Jackie Battle push across that goal line.
So the Chiefs score their 1st touchdown today, only their 4th touchdown in the last 7 games. And they now lead the Green Bay Packers 19-7 in Romeo Cornell's debut as interim head coach. We mentioned he was the defensive coordinator for the Patriots, who won 21 consecutive games in 03 and 04, looking to end the Packers streak at 19.
The big thing is, though, against an offense as explosive as Green Bay's, you've got to finish the game. You've got to play all 60 minutes. Just a little under 5 minutes remaining in this game. That's plenty of time when you're talking about a team that has the weapons like Green Bay has. This Kansas City defense has to keep playing like they have all game. They've been outstanding this afternoon.
And Green Bay also has 3 timeouts left also, Darryl.
Kickoff sails through the end zone. So Aaron Rodgers and the Packers will start from their own 20-yard line. They find themselves in a very unfamiliar position after winning 19 consecutive games, including the postseason last year.
Well, the amazing thing is they've never trailed in the fourth quarter during this 19-game winning streak. They've trailed the entire fourth quarter here today, and you have to credit everybody in Kansas City. The offense has done what they set out to do. They've controlled the clock, run the ball effectively, kept Aaron Rodgers on the sideline. Their defense has been outstanding. They've been able to get to Aaron Rodgers with just 4, allowing 7 to drop into coverage and clog those throwing lanes.
We've talked about this opponents for this Packers offense all day long, and what a job by the Packers defense. Once again, it is Tamba Hali bringing down Rodgers at the line of scrimmage.
And the easy thing today is to talk about the loss of Greg Jennings and the impact it has had on this game. But that's not fair to the secondary of the Kansas City Chiefs. They have done an excellent job in coverage all afternoon.
Second sack today for Hali, 3rd for the Chiefs. Catch is made for a first down by Randall Cobb. Takes it out to the 37. How ironic, so much talk all week long. When will Mike McCarthy pull his players if the Packers have a big lead? And as you said prior to the game, still one more notch on the checklist. They have not yet clinched home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And the Chiefs have done a terrific job today. As Cobb makes the catch, there is a flag on the far side of the field at the 37-yard line.
Oh, going against Green Bay after a big catch and run.
Offense, number 87. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Sloppy. That's on Jordy Nelson, who does not have a catch today. It's his 3rd penalty.
It's a guy who everybody thought it was going to be Jordy Nelson, was going to help clinch this home field advantage. It hasn't been that way this afternoon. You can see as a player, you go through, you make the playoffs, you want to win your division, then you want to get that first round bye. The last piece of business is securing home field, and Green Bay can do that with a win this afternoon.
Rodgers wrapped up by Hali. Down he goes once again at the 26-yard line. 3rd sack today for Hali.
And Tamba Hali has been a one-man wrecking crew. Watch him here on the outside. Comes back. Wraps up Aaron Rodgers. Tell you what, he has been after him all day. What a motor on this kid.
3 sacks today, 12 on the season. Rodgers complete. First catch for Jordy Nelson. Returning to Kansas, grew up in Manhattan, Kansas, attended Kansas State, and Nelson picks up a Packers first down. 22-yard pass play. Rodgers on first down, the screen to Kuhn, and Kuhn has another first down to the Chiefs' 41 as we approach 3 minutes remaining. Gain of 11, Packers with all 3 of their timeouts, trailing by 12. Penalty marker, false start, Packers.
False start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Left tackle, Marshall Newhouse.
Well, they got to give that to Tamba Hali because Tamba Hali has been taking it to Marshall Newhouse all day.
Ali has tied his career high juice with 3 sacks today. From the 46, here comes Hali again. Rodgers gets the pass away, and it's caught by Finley. And Jermichael Finley takes it all the way down to the Chiefs' 15-yard line. Gain of 31.
And the confidence that this group has to have that any situation they can overcome because of how explosive they are on the offense.
From the 15, Rodgers to the outside, it's Nelson. His second catch of this drive, down to the Kansas City 8.
Kansas City really not in a prevent right now. They're doing a lot of the same things that they've done throughout the game. They're rushing 3, they're rushing 4, but they're playing zone coverage behind that. They were playing cover 2, which is 2 deep safeties, and they were manning up underneath. Now they're playing a lot of zone, Tony.
Yeah, but rushing 3 guys against the banged-up offensive line, I'd like to see him rush 4, maybe 5, and not give Aaron a lot of time in that pocket. Right now, he's sitting back there, and he's comfortable, and he's finding his receivers downfield.
Rodgers 5 for 5 on this drive. On second down to the end zone. No flags. Pass intended for Tom Crabtree. Travis Daniels on the coverage. Hali slow to get up, helped up by Gene Steratore.
Probably just tired.
I would be.
Yeah, I think that's just somebody that's been rushing the passer all afternoon and needs to catch a little bit of a rest.
Gene lends a helping hand. 3rd down and 3. Rodgers moving to his right. A pump fake. Looks to run it in. Aaron Rodgers with his 3rd rushing touchdown this season as the Packers reach the end zone for the 2nd time today.
Heads-up play by Jermichael Finley. Once he realizes that Aaron Rodgers has the opportunity to run that in, just like a little screen like you would in a basketball game.
There were like 3 pumps right there. Everybody was so nervous he was going to throw the ball. No one worried about him.
What a drive for Rodgers and the Packers. Crosby the extra point. 9 plays, 80 yards in 2 minutes, 49 seconds. So with 2:04 remaining, Packers with all 3 timeouts back to within 5.
And how key is that right now? And that's a credit to Mike McCarthy and really his whole staff and the team of being very disciplined and not burning timeouts. You got to keep those in your pocket, and we've seen Kansas City have to use them because they've had 12 guys on the field or 10 guys on the field, or the clock's running down and they're about ready to take a delayed game. The fact that Green Bay has been clean in that area this afternoon allows them to have all 3 in their pocket, and they don't have to kick onside here if they want to.
Exactly.
They've got the 2-minute warning. They've got all 3 of their timeouts. They can kick it, play defense, and get that ball back to Aaron Rodgers.
Well, that's we saw Goose, the Denver Broncos, last week against Chicago, an onside kick in this situation because they did not have any timeouts remaining.
Well, I think one of the key things that Darryl said is they got to play defense, something that they haven't done the second half. They have to come out here and they have to stop this Kansas City run game and pass game. Because right now, Kansas City's been having their way with this defense of the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, but for Kansas City, don't come out and approach it in a conservative manner.
No.
Really, your whole game plan this afternoon has been rather conservative with screens and bootlegs. You know, you're running the ball hard, but I mean, Green Bay appears to be set up in an onside situation here, which is surprising to me.
All right, here we go. The onside kick by Crosby is out of bounds. Chiefs will take over. There is a flag along the far sideline. We welcome those of you who have just joined us. 2:04 remaining in Kansas City. Here's referee Gene Steratore.
Illegal touching. Kicking team number 87 illegally touched the football prior to it going 10 yards. We have a 5-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
The Green Bay Packers, who have won 19 consecutive games dating back to last season, as we take a look at the onside kick attempt by Green Bay.
That looks well beyond 10 yards to me. I think what happened with Jordy Nelson, maybe Jordy stepped out of bounds,
right,
and then was the first person to touch it coming back in. That's also illegal touch, but that was well beyond the 10 yards for an onside kick.
4th penalty called on Nelson today, 2 for offensive pass interference.
Kick, first down, Kansas City.
Mike McCarthy's Packers, 19 straight wins, did not score in the first half for the first time all season. They did take a 7-6 lead in the third quarter on a touchdown pass from Aaron Rodgers to Donald Driver. There's Kyle Orton, his first start as a Chief, and he has thrown for 299 yards. The Chiefs finally scored their first touchdown moments ago after they were held to 4 field goals in Romeo Crennel's debut as interim head coach here in Kansas City.
And they have done a fantastic job executing the game plan that Romeo Crennel and his staff practiced all week.
Packers have all 3 of their timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's Thomas Jones, who takes it out to midfield, gain of 6. So with under 2 minutes remaining in Kansas City, the Packers' undefeated season is in jeopardy. Aaron Rodgers can only watch for the moment with his defense on the field, and the Packers trailing the Chiefs by 5. 1:56 remaining in Kansas City. We welcome those of you who have just joined us as Thomas Jones picks up a Chiefs first down with 1:47 remaining. The Packers use their first timeout.
Well, let's go back to earlier in the fourth quarter and show you a play that has an impact on this because it makes the Packers score a touchdown. Remember Leonard Pope on the big catch and run? Watch as he changes hands. He loses that ball. I thought his foot was down and out of bounds as he fumbled it through, but that should be a touchback, and the ball should go to Green Bay. Now, Mike McCarthy thought about it, but it looks like he got to that a little bit too late. Mike Pereira, what do you think about that?
I'll tell you, I watched the play from here, and when you stop it, I think the ball's out of the left hand just before the ball, the foot's not down before the ball is out. So to me, I think it's a touchback because the ball lands in the end zone. So therefore, you play through the ruling of the runner being out of bounds, and then you give a touchback on the play.
All right, thanks, Mike. On first down, taken inside the 40-yard line by Jackie Battle, who scored a touchdown earlier in this fourth quarter to give the Chiefs a 19-7 lead, and Mike McCarthy uses his second timeout.
The reason we go back and clean that up for you is because right now at 19-14, that would have made it 16-14. Go back and recap the Kansas City Chiefs. They've moved the ball up and down the field pretty well this afternoon, but have been stymied once they've gotten down by the 5-yard line. Green Bay comes right back, gets a touchdown of their own, but they don't execute the onside kick after the touchdown. So with 2:04 remaining, Kansas City gets the ball back and has just been pounding it at this Green Bay defense like they have all afternoon.
Man, I tell you what, that was amazing to me how they're just running the ball right down this Green Bay defense throat.
On the edge, Goose, they got everything sealed. It's unbelievable.
Jackie Battle picks up a first down, and that will do it. Packers with only 1 timeout remaining. A new set of downs for the Chiefs.
They have been on the perimeter all afternoon today. And here at the most critical part of the game, Green Bay is not making the adjustments, and Kansas City's run game has gotten on the edge in 2 critical snaps here to close this game out.
So Battle picks up a huge first down. Packers use their final timeout with 1:34 remaining. The Chiefs will be able to run out the clock. Packers have trailed for over 55 minutes. Coming into this game, they trailed for only 103 minutes all season. Kyle Orton hitting 10 different receivers in his first start as a Chief. Romeo Crennel takes over as the interim head coach on Monday, and he said his first decision was to make a change at the quarterback position. And a Gatorade bath for Crennel, who was a huge part of that 21-game win streak by the New England Patriots back in 2003 and 2004. He was the defensive coordinator on that Patriots club that won a record 21 consecutive games, and his Chiefs will end the Packers streak at 19. 2 games shy of New England.
One of the big shockers this season, and you can have a game plan coming in on a Sunday afternoon, but to go out and execute it and have faith in it, because as this game started, Kansas City was doing everything that Romeo Crennel and his staff wanted them to do. They were controlling the clock, running the football, keeping Aaron Rodgers and that offense on the bench, but they weren't converting. They were kicking field goals. They missed on a 4th down inside the 5-yard line. and Green Bay's offense never really got into sync this afternoon. And it's not just because Greg Jennings is not in the lineup today. This Kansas City defense played outstanding. They covered all those receivers down the field. Tamba Hali had a monster day pressuring the quarterback.
The 72 Dolphins can exhale. The Green Bay Packers 19-game win streak comes to an end. Packers are now 13-1. The Kansas City Chiefs, in Romeo Crennel's debut as interim head coach, Kyle Orton's first start as a Chief, and Kansas City wins it 19-14.
Now there's unfinished business for the Green Bay Packers. They still have not secured home field. A win today would have done that. They can wait on a San Francisco loss later today, but they've still got work to do to close out this season. If they want to have every game come through Lambeau Field, they've still got to win one more game or have San Francisco lose.
299 yards in the air for Kyle Orton. Chiefs now 6-8 as they defeat the Packers by 5. First Green Bay loss since last December 19th, a year ago tomorrow. We'll return to Kansas City in a moment.